It has been so powerful to see more and more Filipino women embracing their natural beauty and reclaiming what it means to feel beautiful. Filipino beauty standards for women are shaped by a complex mix of colonial history, media influence, and evolving cultural values. Skin whitening products dominate store shelves, and messages in advertisements often imply that beauty and confidence come from being whiter. This is tied to a long-standing association between fair skin and wealth, rooted in colonial and class-based thinking. These effects of colonialism still hold strong in most cultures today, implying that native Filipino features are not ideal. This is so heartbreaking because for some ethnic groups, this was the exact opposite of pre-colonial times. For Visayans, flat and wide noses were the beauty standard, to the point where they had a device for flattening noses. Even so, the media continues to reinforce these prejudices. While there's been some progress in increasing the visibility of Morenas and broader skin tone representation, discrimination based on appearance is something many Filipino women experience early in life, sometimes even from family. Some women shared experiences of being passed over in school activities or beauty contests in favor of peers who fit conventional ideals. At the same time, there is a growing shift. The Morena Power movement has encouraged many young Filipinas to reclaim and celebrate their natural features. Local beauty brands are emerging that cater to brown skin tones and push back against the dominance of whitening products. Influencers are helping normalize features once considered flaws, like pigmented lips or aegyosal under eye fullness, framing them as beautiful. Beauty is increasingly being defined as a form of self-expression rather than conformity. There's a shared realization that beauty is not just visual, it's something that people feel. Accepting one's own appearance has led many to see beauty in others more clearly. This internal shift, rooted in self-love rather than comparison, is helping a new generation resist narrow standards and embrace difference as something valuable. Pageants, though still appearance-driven, are also being reimagined. Some view them as empowering platforms for advocacy and voice, but they still reflect broader cultural pressures to be physically perfect. In that sense, the Philippines continues to straddle two worlds, one rooted in long-standing ideals and another striving to embrace a more inclusive definition of beauty. And listen, I'm gonna be honest. A lot of the reason why I showcase darker and brown-skinned women from different cultures, especially like Filipino culture, Indian culture, and etc., is because I depend on culture shared via the internet to create these videos with you all. And when it comes to beauty topics, sometimes the adopted colonialistic mindset and histories can overshadow the representation that is out there. Throughout most parts of my research, many parts of the Filipino culture is not expressed because it's actively being suppressed, hidden, or conforming to Western standards and ideology. Doing this research really reminded me how deeply psychological these beauty ideals go, not just for Filipinas, but for women everywhere. It's not just about what's considered beautiful, it's about identity, belonging, and sometimes survival. That's why I think it's most important that we acknowledge the emotional weight that comes with navigating these systems, especially when they've been passed down for generations. If you've ever felt like beauty standards were shaping how you see yourself or affecting your confidence, you're not alone, and therapy can help unpack that in a way that feels safe and empowering. A therapist will listen, ask questions, and help you see things from new perspectives. They can give you advice and techniques to make positive changes in your life. That's why I'm very grateful that BetterHelp is a sponsor of this video, and they're on a mission to make starting therapy easier. Fill out a questionnaire and you will match with a therapist in as little as a couple of days. Easily switch therapists anytime at no extra cost if that's not the right fit. With over 7,000 reviews and a 4.3 rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a platform you can trust. Click the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/beautyandbeyond and get 10% off your first month of therapy. First, we'll be going over a bit of the Philippines' history and culture, and then we'll get into traditional versus modern beauty standards. After that, we'll get into the specifics of ancient and current skincare rituals, diet and fitness routines, and lastly, fashion and makeup. I love Filipino culture, the music, the food, the way of life. I am very, very excited to get into this video with you all. I have always been fascinated with Filipino culture. Some things I've noticed or known about Filipino culture are celebrities like Bretman Rock. I also really love Denise Julia's music. I have never been to the Philippines myself, but I've heard that the Philippines is said to be a place you go to feel alive because it's a cultural melting pot. There are many different kinds of Filipinos. Filipinos are often categorized in two groups based on language, ethnicity, and physical appearance. There are over 182 ethno-linguistic groups. Additionally, Filipinos are sometimes described based on physical appearance such as moreno or morena, which means tan or brown skin, chinito or chinita, which means East Asian features, and mestizo or mestiza, which means mixed European or other foreign ancestry. From the beauty of the landscapes and top-notch tourist spots, life in the Philippines can generally be considered slower and more relaxed. The Philippines has a tropical, maritime climate characterized by temperatures and humidity with average annual temperatures around 27 Celsius. The country experiences two main seasons, a wet season, June to November, and a dry season, December to May. The Philippines has a population of approximately 116.7 million people, which represents about 1.42% of the world's population. The people are super friendly and helpful. There are a lot of people that will volunteer to help you out if you are a foreigner. Growing up in the Philippines and being surrounded by the culture can definitely teach anyone the art of humility and kindness. A plus is that if you speak English, you can communicate with most people in the Philippines. Even most contracts and government documents are in English. When it comes to a Filipino woman's values, at the top of the list is usually community, family, and friendship. So much so that it explains why most Filipinos come across as being multi-talented or multifaceted, because there is so much emphasis on community bonding that everyone learns how to do everything from each other. This is a part of basic Filipino concept called Kapwa, the core Filipino value emphasizing shared identity and interconnectedness among individuals. It embodies the belief that one's well-being is intertwined with the well-being of others, fostering empathy and compassion. In essence, Kapwa means recognizing that I am no different than others, highlighting a sense of unity and shared experience. Filipinas love to sing karaoke all night, dance to Beyonce or Whitney Houston, or make you laugh. Overall, Filipino women are happy, optimistic, and welcoming people. You can always count on early good mornings, no judgments, and lots of parties and dancing. The Philippines has a rich cultural heritage showcased through its globally recognized cinema, cuisine, music, and traditional arts. The Philippine film industry, Pinoy Wood, dates back to the early 1900s and spans a wide range of genres. The music industry thrives on both local creativity and foreign influences, with the movement of musicians shaping modern styles within the Philippines and East Asia. Traditional arts feature folk architecture, weaving, carving, crafts, calligraphy, tattooing, and painting. Major cultural festivals like the Cebu Sinulog Festival highlight the vibrancy of Filipino arts and traditions. Influencers and celebrities like Nadine Lester, Angelique Manto, Bianca Gonzalez Intal, and Ain Bernos are proud Morena Filipino women and are flaunting their tanned and dark skin proudly. For example, Ain Bernos is a vlogger, a writer, and a small entrepreneur. She is the founder of Morena the Label, a clothing line that celebrates sun-kissed skin, body positivity, and everything in between. She also advocates for body positivity, fighting the stigmas that has tainted the culture for decades. Also, a recent Allure Philippines maiden issue includes a spread that honors the proud Morena beauties. Even artists like Diamante started her pop girl era with a self-love single that tells Filipinas to never let the ugly in others kill the beauty within them. So yes, Morena Power is in full force and I am in full support. I love this cultural shift for you all, especially after doing so much research and realizing how deeply ingrained colorism has been affecting Filipina culture.
Zai, nakakimura nga panitira Zai, ang tawag siki Zai, kikinaham na sa mga fam. Charis! Bitaw, that's a very expensive skin for foreigners. So, ayaw din yung tawag ko siki. Ilabay, ugda-ubi na yung mga whitening products. Kaya magpamatid ang mga afa makakita sa imong panit.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but your Morena skin is beautiful. You do not need to stay out of the sun. Get a tan.
Beauty in general is very important to Filipino women. The Philippines is renowned for its passionate and dedicated engagement with beauty pageants, often referred to as pageant powerhouse. This cultural phenomenon is deeply rooted with pageants like Miss Universe, holding significant cultural importance and national pride. The country's success in major international pageants, including the Big Four, has solidified its global reputation. Overall, Filipino beauty standards have always been diverse because the population is so diverse, with common beauty standards in the Philippines involving having smooth, clear skin, small eyes, straight, dark hair, although curly hair is very common and rising in popularity. As far as social expectations go, Filipino women are historically and sometimes stereotypically known as the Maria Clara type. Maria Clara is a fictional character depicted as a symbol of purity and virtue. This can be considered a stereotype as it was brought by the Spaniards, whose ideal woman is religious, submissive, and obedient. But as history would cite, Filipinas during the Spanish occupation were far from that. In an article titled Maria Clara and Why Is She Not the Face to Represent Young Filipinas, the writer beautifully states, being conservative and adhering to the Maria Clara mentality is not wrong. However, generalizing Filipinas to solely one beauty standard and values creates a toxic environment for young Filipinas to repress their true selves. What makes a true Filipina is her ability to decide, express, and make choices for herself. I believe this emphasizes how the Maria Clara archetype was basically ingrained into Filipino culture, and individual struggles have left a lasting cultural impact on the Filipino people. This brings me to mention the ancient, indigenous Filipino healers, shamans, and priestesses, well-respected women back when the Philippines was a matriarchal society before Spanish colonization infiltrated the culture. They upheld culture, religion, and practiced spiritual healing techniques. They were known for their clairvoyance and being close with nature. According to Apostle, the traditional Filipino medical system was composed of various specialties: midwifery, pulse diagnosis, bone setting, herbology, suction cupping, skin scraping, herbal steam and smoke, energy medicine, and other forms of metaphysical healing, herbalism, prayers, incantations, and mysticism, similar to a shaman. Ventosa or suction cupping involves special heated cups that form a seal or vacuum to help ease sore muscles. It is a common practice in other areas of Asia, such as China. I found it very interesting that hospitality and healing are staples for Filipino women, even in current times. In the Philippines, approximately 74.1% of nurses are women. Additionally, Filipino nurses make up a notable portion of the nursing workforce in countries like the United States, where they represent about 4% of all nurses, despite being only 1% of the total population. However, it is important to note that the high representation of Filipinos in nursing in the U.S. is linked to the history of U.S. colonization of the Philippines, which led to Filipinos training as nurses under the U.S. Army and subsequently migrating to the U.S. to work. When it comes to fitness, statistics show that formal fitness participation usually remains low amongst Filipino women, especially among adolescents and lower income groups. Many women consider daily activities like housework, walking, and chores as their primary form of movement. Structured workouts like gym visits or classes are less common, but growing, particularly among younger, urbanized women. There is also a psychological layer to health behavior. Many Filipinas report complicated relationships with food, shaped by cultural expectations to, quote-unquote, eat what you are served, and finish everything on the plate. This can make intuitive or mindful eating difficult, especially when combined with guilt around traditional Filipino food being labeled as unhealthy.
In Filipino culture, we're taught to eat what's on the table and finish it because we don't waste food. You feel guilty when you don't finish your food, so you keep eating even though you're full. And there's no such thing as you're not hungry. When your tita gives you food, you eat it. And I think that's why a lot of us have a bad relationship with food. When you go on your fitness journey, it can be hard to unlearn these habits. If you're watching this, it's okay to say no to your tita or save your leftovers for your next meal. It's not rude or wasteful. Remember, focus on nourishing the body instead of trying to finish every bite.
Still, there is a growing movement toward reclaiming and modifying cultural meals in healthier ways, using air fryers, lean protein swaps, and portion control. Traditional martial arts like arnis and yaoyan are part of the national heritage and are increasingly popular among women, especially those seeking community and empowerment through movement. However, these practices remain niche compared to the dominant weight loss culture. Filipino food is heavily vegetable-based, with different varieties depending on the vegetables used. Lots of one-pot vegetables and lean meats. When referring to a healthy, balanced diet, most Filipinos refer to their health chart, which usually includes lean meat, a vegetable, lots of veggies, and of course, rice. Mangoes are a big deal when it comes to the Philippines. The Philippines is famous for its mangoes, particularly the Carabao mango, which is recognized as one of the sweetest mango varieties globally. Also known as the Manila mango, it is a highly valued crop and a significant contributor to the Philippine economy. Garlic is also a significant ingredient within Filipino culture. A common ingredient in Filipino cuisine, it's known for its numerous health benefits, both culinary and medicinal. It's believed to offer protection against various ailments due to its rich content of sulfur compounds. Vegetable stews and soups are also very popular. Some examples include a traditional mixed vegetable dish, typically featuring bitter melon, eggplant, okra, long beans, and sometimes squash or tomatoes. It is often flavored with fermented fish or shrimp paste, and it can include pork or shrimp. It's traditionally cooked in an earthenware pot without stirring. Seaweed is also a staple in the Philippine diet, prized not only for its unique taste and versatility in dishes like seaweed salad, but also for its abundant nutritional value. Different varieties offer slighter, different benefits, but in general, Filipino seaweeds are recognized for their potential to support various aspects of health. There are also plenty of fresh fish, especially dried fish. It is packed with protein and healthy omega-3 fatty acids. There are also many popular cuisines from the Philippines that are known around the world and are very popular, but they are mistaken for dishes that you eat every day when they're mostly consumed for parties. This kind of cuisine usually blends Western, Pacific Islander, and Asian influences. As far as self-care and beauty rituals, across the Philippines, natural oils have long been a part of daily rituals, valued not just for their versatility, but for their connection to culture and wellness. Pili oil is a huge one. The Canarium ovatum tree, or pili tree, grows in the Philippines. While the pili nut is commonly eaten as a snack, the oil from its pulp is packed with fatty acids, antioxidants, and vitamins, and is anti-inflammatory, antiviral, and antibacterial. The oil is a natural source of antioxidants and linoleic acid, which leaves the skin hydrated and supple. It's also rich in vitamins A and E, which help with fine lines and wrinkles. Coconut oil is used for the hair. The coconut tree is often called the tree of life, and it's within good reason. Its water makes a refreshing drink, and its shells, husks, and leaves are used as materials for construction. Similar to other oils, coconut oil is moisturizing and anti-inflammatory, but what makes it unique is its lauric acid content, which helps protect the skin from harmful microorganisms. Moringa oil, most commonly known as malunggay in the Philippines, moringa can be found growing in almost any area of the country, especially in provinces. It is referred to as the miracle tree for its nutritional, medicinal, and industrial uses. I love how it's called the miracle tree because there have been so many other cultures that have used moringa oil. I feel like I've mentioned it in like 2 other videos before, including my Sudanese video, which you can find on Patreon. A key characteristic of moringa oil in skincare is its ability to build cells with the presence of sulfur, encouraging the formation of keratin and collagen in the body. It also is high in vitamins A, C, and E, which help regenerate cells and neutralizes free radicals caused by UV exposure and pollution. Filipino women also have long valued the meditative art of bathing, embracing the healing power of water and the therapeutic benefits of natural ingredients. Traditional bathing rituals often involve a natural exfoliating tool made from volcanic pumice, which takes away dead skin and reveals a smooth, revitalized complexion.
Hey, this is a tabo and it's an essential item in many Filipino homes. They come in many different colors and styles and are usually found in the bathroom, where people use it to clean themselves after using the toilet or as a way to pour water when they're taking a bath. Did you know that in pre-colonial times, the tabo was made out of a coconut shell and a bamboo stick? And it was often used as a way to store water when water supply was low. Historically, in other Asian countries, a tabo was kept at the entrance of a home so people could clean their hands before entering. Or it was found in the kitchen, again as a way to store water. Nowadays, in the Filipino culture, you'll often see a tabo in the bathroom as a replacement for toilet paper. In the Philippines, some people prefer to use a tabo over toilet paper for a number of reasons. First, plumbing in the Philippines can get easily clogged, so toilet paper is never flushed down the toilet. Next, toilet paper can get pricey, whereas people would just rather use the water that they're already paying for. So, how do you use a tabo? Typically in the Philippines, bathrooms will have a large bucket of water under a faucet, and in that large bucket of water will be a floating tabo. When a person is done using the bathroom, he or she will reach over for the tabo and clean themselves. But they have to be careful not to make too big of a mess with all the splashing water. Then they will also use that tabo to pour enough water to flush the toilet, because oftentimes toilets over there don't have the flushing knob. So do you have a tabo at your house, or have you ever used one before? If you have, leave me a water emoji in the comments. Paalam!
Filipino women also use herbal steams. Herbal steaming is a rejuvenating practice that incorporates aromatic herbs and therapeutic steam for a deeply cleansing and detoxifying experience. The herbal steam ritual helps open the pores and release impurities, while the fragrant herb soothes the nerves and calm the mind. Filipino women also love to frequently get facial massages. Facial massages play a crucial role in Filipino skincare, with gentle facial techniques used to stimulate circulation, release tension, and promote relaxation. Traditional Filipino facial massage often incorporates warmed coconut oil, which deeply nourishes the skin and further enhances the benefits of this soothing practice. Some other miscellaneous self-care rituals I found in my research included homemade rituals for sickness. For example, if someone is sick, vapor rub, a scent oil, and white flower oil mixed in a bowl with hot water is supposed to instantly heal you, or at least make you feel better. When the steam starts to rise, apply the oil and sit underneath the blanket and take deep breaths to inhale the nutrients from the concoction. Furthermore, hand washing your clothes is a common practice, particularly in areas without readily available washing machines for delicate items. The process generally involves soaking clothes in soapy water, scrubbing, rinsing, and then drying. When it comes to hair care, most Filipino women have naturally thick hair with a texture ranging from straight to wavy. Curly or coily hair is also possible, especially among indigenous populations or those with mixed ancestry. Some may even have thick, medium coarse waves. Gujo is a woody vine native to the Philippines. It's been traditionally used by Filipinas for centuries as a shampoo and hair treatment due to its ability to lather and cleanse the scalp. The bark of the gujo vine contains saponins, which create a soapy lather when mixed with water. This is a natural support for thinning or falling hair, promoting strength and thickness. Gujo extract is also known to combat skin eczema to keep your skin healthy. Also, random fun fact, I heard that Filipinas like to put baby powder in their hair to stop sweating, which I think is just genius, because it smells good too. When it comes to makeup, Filipino makeup brands within the beauty industry have seen a huge improvement over the years, with longer lasting makeup and especially with broader shade ranges. Some influences of cinema and media include Filipino girl makeup, which includes a soft, dewy base, emphasis on the eyes, and enhancing of the natural features. We also have the Filipino blush trend, which is also called the Chuchu Beauty Blush trend, which is basically taking blush and putting it across the face for a cute, shy look. Some Filipinas highlight the natural under-eye fullness or the aegyosal as a charming feature, which is a popular trick borrowed from Korean makeup but embraced for Filipino facial structure. Other trends include lip tint in the middle of the lips and more Korean-style makeup trends. But some makeup brands and products that stood out to me, the brand called Detail Cosmetics, the Teviant foundation and eyeshadow looked crazy, like crazy good. I did not know that BLK was a Filipina brand. And also shout out to like Get Ready With Me Cosmetics, Issy & Co., Caillou Beauty, and Filipinto. Check out those makeup brands. I'm going to see if I can link them in the description below. But Filipina makeup needs a little bit more attention because their products and formulas are actually really impressive. When it comes to cultural and festive beauty, Pangalay dancers, particularly the Sama and the Tausong tribes in the southern Philippines, wear metal or aluminum nail extensions called jengay or diangay on their fingers. These extensions are designed to emphasize the dancer's hand movements. The purpose is to enhance the elegant and graceful hand gestures that are characteristics of Pangalay, which is also called the fingernail dance. Pangalay is a traditional dance often performed at weddings and other festival events. It is considered one of the most distinctively Asian of all southern Philippine dances. The original concept from the Pangalay draws from the pre-Islamic and Buddhist ideals of celestial beings reflected in its movements. When it comes to fashion and style, I think this is where the Philippines thrives. There are so many traditional outfits and gowns that are iconic and replicated throughout the fashion industry today. The balabal in Filipino refers to a shawl or cloak, often a decorative and protective garment, particularly within the context of traditional Filipina attire, sometimes resembling a bandana that is worn around the neck or head. In the realm of Filipina fashion, it's a key piece, often inspired by the Maria Clara style, and may be intricately hand-painted or beaded with floral and fauna designs. The panuelo is a traditional Filipino shawl or scarf, often worn with the Maria Clara dress and the other Filipina attire. It's a significant piece of cultural clothing reflecting history, artistry, and Filipino identity. Next, we'll talk about the tapis, a significant element of traditional Filipino dress within the context of the Maria Clara gown. The malong is a traditional Filipino garment, which is a rectangular or tube-like wraparound skirt, often featuring intricate geometric designs. It's a versatile piece of clothing used by both men and women, serving various purposes like skirts, dresses, and blankets, even as a hammock or a sunshade. The designs and materials can vary, often indicating the wearer's social status and cultural affiliation. Filipinos are very well known for their textile art and fabrics. Lastly is a bolero. The Filipina bolero is a short jacket-like garment, often made of sheer and embroidered fabric that is worn over traditional Filipino attire. It's a popular way to add a touch of elegance and cultural flair to an outfit and can be styled for both formal and casual occasions. Gold jewelry is a very specific and prominent part of Panay heritage and culture. They would use specific techniques to create jewelry from gold, including gold grills, necklaces, anklets, and more, and they believed it spiritually protected their souls. Traditional Filipino jewelry, which may include pieces worn in conjunction with Pangalay costumes, is made using materials such as gold, pearls, beads, shells, brass, and copper. Brass is also a significant material, particularly in the indigenous Filipino jewelry, and has cultural and traditional importance within Islamic culture in the Philippines. The pamapay is a traditional Filipino handheld fan that plays an important role in Filipino culture. It is most notably recognized as part of a traditional woman's attire, often paired with a blouse and a skirt. Today, modern Filipino women usually dress in a trendy fashion fit for the humid weather. Something like a simple cotton or linen crop top, a skirt, and comfy tennis shoes or strappy sandals for walking, gold jewelry, and a crossbody bag is pretty common. All in all, Filipino women are friendly, inviting, funny, and smart. I loved learning about the culture and the traditions. We love spreading beauty secrets and shopping small businesses, so feel free to give a shout out to some of your favorites in the comments below. If you love exploring global beauty rituals, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a Beauty Around the World episode. Also, drop a comment and let me know which country we should visit next. And just so you know, we talk about all things beauty and beyond here on this channel, from careers for women to daily hobbies and habits. Feel free to join the Beauty and Beyond Patreon for some of my earlier and now exclusive content, which includes titles like Beauty Around the World Paris, Beauty Around the World Upper East Side Manhattan, and more. You will also get early access to videos like this one. You can find all of this information in my pillar link in the description below. Let me know if I missed something or got anything wrong in the comments if you are a Filipino woman.